Hello everyone, it's Matt here from Prepared UK 101, and today I would like to talk to you a little bit about the Fenix HL10 AAA Powered Head Torch. I've been looking for a little while now for a head torch, a small lightweight head torch that's just going to fit neatly into a bag, walking bag, just in case a walk takes a little bit longer than expected and it goes dark and we have to finish maybe the last leg or so. And also when camping, something I can just use in and around camp. It's not going to take up hardly any room in a bag, that's going to weigh virtually nothing, but is going to give a really good light source for everyday tasks, close work, stuff in and around your tent, stuff in and around camp. You could comfortably change a wheel if you had a flat tire in a car, something like that. Walk the dog, go for a jog. Good quality lamp. It is deceptive. Fenix say, and it does only come out one way. I've not quite got the there we go, of getting it out. That the unit itself, and I haven't got my scales with me today, so we'll have to trust their tech specs with this one. The Fenix datasheet suggests that, just like this, 33 grams, which is pretty spectacular. Really good. Virtually nothing there, and it's aluminium alloy, so it's really strong. It's got a single push button on one end. There is no secondary button for adjusting it. It's got this curious diffuser that I will talk a little bit about in a minute or two. And without the battery, but with the headband, it weighs a total of 45 grams. So it is a really small, compact little unit. The headband is relatively simple to use. It's just a simple pull to adjust. Good quality headband, good width, nice branding. The torch unit does only go into the headband clip one way around. So a lot of head torches, the light is actually in the centre, so the light comes out directly between your eyes. This comes out on the right, and unless you completely invert the unit, then you can have it on the left, but it is designed to be this way up. So there is a tendency perhaps where you'll try and slide the lamp slightly off centre on your head so that the light was coming from between your eyes rather than from above your right eye. I've not found this to be a problem. I could see how it would annoy some people. The headband unit has this plastic clip that holds the headlamp in place, and immediately I can see that this piece here is going to be the fragile part and the weak spot on the headband. But if you have the torch in place and you're using it solely as a head torch, then shouldn't be a problem. It feels like it's really strong plastic, and it shouldn't, well, it's not designed for incredibly rough use. It's certainly not designed for military applications or anything like that. It is general it is general kind of fishing, walking type of use that it's designed for. The light itself, undiffused, I think you can see there the clear portion of the housing. It's going to give us, now this is something that I keep doing, I keep going to switch it on, it doesn't switch on, I've got to switch it on, it doesn't switch on, I've got to switch it on, it doesn't switch on. You have to press it and hold it. That gives you a kind of lockout facility, in that if you were to just tap it in your pocket, it won't come on. It has to be a very definite action to get it to come on. And it's come on in the low 4 lumens setting. It has a middle 30 lumens setting, and it has a high 70 lumens setting. As you can see, it gives you quite a nice spot with, well, it's got quite a nice spot, and it's got a very definite halo, but the halo does tend to fry out a little bit at the edges. So it's obviously not a really expensive lens, but it's certainly more than adequate. And it has this very curious facility whereby you can switch the lens from undiffused to diffused, which should give us a broader pattern of light and without the intense spot in the middle, so that it gives you better area definition rather than better subject definition. And I have to say, diffused spot, and you can see the lens rolling over the light there as it comes over. And if I just knock it off, then yeah, you'd be able to see there that the lens has a frosting on it that will, I don't know if it knocks the lumens down at all, but it does give you, like I say, a much better area coverage of light rather than subject coverage of light. In terms of its size, for comparison, here is a AA battery, and just let me get it out of the box. Here is, oh excuse me, a AAA, that's not a AAA, an 18650. So it's slightly longer, ever so slightly longer. It is 71mm in length, so it's slightly longer than an 18650 battery. The head unit is 25mm in diameter, so it's just slightly less than the diameter of an 18650, and the body is 23mm in diameter, which puts it around about the same diameter as a AA battery. So in trying to keep the size and the weight down, you've got inside the AAA battery in this section here, and then you've got the head unit to give you light. And this is undiffused. That's on the 4 lumens ambient or moonlight setting, and then up to 30 for the mid setting, and up to 70 for full power. which will give you a range of 30 meters, which is more than adequate for walking on unbroken ground. The data sheet in the box says that on high output of 70 lumens you will get 1 hour. On the medium output you will get 3 hours, and on low output you will get 26 hours. And that will of course depend on the quality of the battery that you have inside of it. The higher the mAh, the more trustworthy the brand, the better light longevity you're going to get. I've ordered, but they've not arrived yet, some Duracell 850 mAh AAA rechargeable batteries that hopefully are going to give me good lamp life, because I do prefer to use a rechargeable battery rather than a disposable battery. So I think what we should do now is clip it back in here, and you do get a really good range of movement. It fits snugly when you're running or walking. It's not going to rattle in the housing, and it does give you that full feet to sky elevation and almost infinite bulb positions. So let me knock this off now and then reset the camera up, and then we can do the wall test and have a look at the light dissipation, and I think I'll also get my Olight 3E EOS out by way of a comparison, which is slightly brighter, but if you haven't held or used one of these before, the Olight's so ubiquitous that if you don't have one, you probably know somebody who has one that you could run a test against to see if this was going to give you enough light. It's certainly going to make you happy in terms of the quality of manufacture, and it is really a usable piece of kit. I think when you go down to something this small, what it's going to boil down to in the end is it going to give you enough light for what you want? Based on the fact that what we're trying to do here is save as much size, as much space and as much weight as we can. Okay, right, so let's see how it does on the wall test. Okay everyone, so here we are for the all important wall test to show us the quality and the intensity of the beam. This is without the diffuser rolled over the lens, and you can see you get 4 meters away from the wall, you get a really good round beam of light with quite a deep halo, and that's on the 70 lumens setting. If we go down to 4 lumens, you can see it's still quite visible as a light. It is giving quite a good account of itself there. And I'll move it up to 30, which is the one setting that would probably use it on the most, because you would get used to just having this amount of light, and you would measure your gait accordingly when you were walking, and you'd be able to get away with that, no problem. And if we stepped it up to 70, which would probably uses the burst mode for battery economy more than anything else, because it does only give us an hour on this high 70 lumens setting. Let me roll the diffuser over the lens now, and you can see it just gives us a nice broad throw, a nice diffused pattern that fills out the whole halo almost, rather than being that central spot. And on 4 lumens, the moonlight mode, that's still a good light. It's still got the round spot, it's just not quite as intense. And on the more popular 30 lumen setting, that's a good, usable, broadly diffused spray pattern of light there. Let me just roll the diffuser back off the lens, give us that spot back again. Now, this is only a 70 lumen LED bulb in the head unit of this. This is the Olight 3E EOS, that's 90 lumens, so there is quite a big difference there. The main disadvantages are this will give you that nice white spotlight there, but it's only on and off. There is no facility to be able to have a half light or an ambient moonlight. There is just on and off, and it's not a head torch either. It's a keyring light, a very useful keyring light at that, but a keyring light nonetheless. So those 20 lumens do make up the difference there. That was a comparison against the 30 lumen mid light. Now this one's on full power at 70 lumens and this is on full power at 90 lumens, equally distant from the wall. The lenses must be very similar because the spots are very similar in size, and I'm quite impressed with that. That is a useful and a usable beam of light there that for its size is absolutely phenomenal. Right, so let's take it outside and see what we can do, see how it looks over a bit more distance when it's not just working in the pitch black, but it's got street lights, house lights, and tonight a little bit of moonlight to contend with. Okay, here goes. Okay, so moved outside now, usual spot in the car park, and this evening we have a glorious full moon. So there is a little bit of ambient light. I don't know how adversely that will affect the test or not. There doesn't seem to be a huge amount of ambient light interfering on the ground in front of the camera, so let's see how we get on. So this is the Fenix HL10 and that's on its full power undiffused mode, so that's 70 lumens spotlight, if you will, and it's good light. If you want a light ostensibly to be able to see immediately in front of you and where you're walking, then this is ideal. Size, weight, battery availability, it's a really good piece of kit. For distance work, it's not that great. I mean, yes, the line of stones at the end of the car park is a good distance away, possibly from where I am, 30-35 meters. I can just about make them out, but really and truly I think it's for this here that this is where it lends itself to being most effective. We can just knock the power down now. That's on its lowest light, that's 4 lumens. Now if you were in a tent, then this would be an ideal kind of ambient light to be able to find your way around without disrupting or disturbing any of your fellow campers, and gives you enough light to be able to see
where you put in your feet, and that's it without, and that's it with, so that's enabling you to see where you're going. Knock it up one to 30 lumens, low, medium, and 30 lumens. Now this is where it gets interesting, because on 30 lumens the estimated battery life is 3 hours. Now 3 hours of that from a AAA battery is very good. On high, that's giving you 70 lumens, and it's going to give you 70 lumens, but it's only going to give you 70 lumens for an hour. On its ambient or moonlight 4 lumen setting, you're going to get that for 26 hours. Well, that's an awful lot of light. Let's have a look, see on how the diffuser affects the light pattern. That's with the diffuser on, and the diffuser just seems to open that central spotlight out a little bit and creates a more even spread of the light throughout the range of the diameter of the beam, whereas without it you get that very definite central spot with that little bit of a halo. Now, I've got with me in my pocket, it's got my car keys attached to it, the O-Light AAA, and you can quite clearly see it's about an equivalence. So there we go, that's them, the O-Light AAA keyring lamp there, and the Fenix HL10 there. The O-Light's a little bit whiter than the Fenix, but other than that there's not a huge amount to choose between them. So there you go. For its size, its weight, its cost, really is potentially a valuable piece of kit that's not going to take up a huge amount of room in your bag, in your pocket, or out of your wallet. Thank you for watching. This has been Matt from Prepared UK 101 with the Fenix HL10 headlamp. Good night.